And welcome, of course, Sunday, Keith. Saturday ended with a bang, but we've got a great card here for Sunday.
Think I'm rooting for the Ravens today, I guess.
I think
Ravens,
so, yeah.
Steelers, big game
Yeah.
for the AFC North.
I'm wearing neutral colors because
yeah,
I'm not picking
well,
a side.
I don't think I've ever worn like a team thing. You know what? I looked around the house. There wasn't much clean. Okay, we got a lot of stuff to catch up on a Monday, and just grabbed it and threw it on. But anyhow, let's go Ravens. See if we can get it done. But yeah, great day, beautiful day outside, Cal. And yesterday's card, man, we saw some interesting racing. Mr. Pesce in the last race, a maiden 12.5, blitzed the field by 17 and change, 109.4 final time. Preliminary buyer figure was an 86, and that was wild. And we actually had that horse, but Master of None too, another one we've discussed.
I was waiting for you to bring it up.
Well, if we give you horse, not just me, you, Dave, Dan, whoever, Brian, when we're kind of here and we've got the mix of 4 horses, again, these are our users. This is what I said. This is my users. It's not Stone Cold. $130.60. Bill and I both scolded ourselves because we didn't. I dropped them off of a pick 3 and a pick 4 ticket. I was furious.
Oh my
gosh. Just to be El Cheapo, Jack Luskin special, you can call me, but that was brutal. And anyhow, good effort. Congrats to Sergio Bordanis and company for that win. But I'm looking to finish this weekend up with a little bit of a bang. Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah, I'm good. We did okay all in all yesterday. So I like today's card too. I got no real big plays, but I think we got a steady string of some shots that will work for you.
Well, let's get right to it then. Let's start with our first leg of the early pick 5 in this maiden claiming 30,000, going 7 furlongs on the dirt for the girls, 3 to 5. Keith, you have the number 7, Worries Unfounded on the outside. We have no scratches here, excuse me. Worries Unfounded, Mikey Girales, Forest Boyce, they hit the dirt with these connections for the first time. We're going to take a look back at last time this one was on the dirt, different trainer.
Yeah, this was down at Kelowna. The day it was claimed. Lapidus, very he's sharp. He goes down to New Kent and grabs a horse. And Worries Unfounded ran quite well this day. Stalk makes a steady progression into it. Only gets beat 3/4 of a length when it's all said and done. I kind of looked at the family. Should be able to stretch out. So the 7 furlongs I'm not terribly concerned with. Looking at that bottom side, the mare, I think she was stakes winner, ran a 90. A couple siblings went on and ran well, going a mile and a 16th. Good position outside. Maybe a little bit of an early move last time in that 5.5 race on the grass. You'll see a little bit more patience. I think the speed's going to be coming from the 2, Not Guilty, and the 6, Wampy. Worries Unfounded here to take aim and steadily progress into it. Maybe get your opener done. Luna Patina, your top selection. Yeah, Brittany Russell factor, maiden special weight, the maiden claiming, turf to dirt. All of these angles work. This is going to be the first time blinkers on the dirt as well. I thought the lone debut on a sloppy sealed track was good. No, shouldn't have any problem with a fast track today. Interesting horse. I'm going to use a 6 in there, but touch upon your 3. I almost moved this one up, and I will bet a couple bucks to win on the 3, Promage. It's a late-breaking Lasix. Firster for Milan Milosevic, Stavika de Zurich, Anna Sims. So Stavika, he's had some horses. He's been training Virginia, then coming up here to Laurel to get associated with this track, get comfortable with the Laurel surface. Interesting. Last work, that gate work matches up with Mr. Pesce. Interesting. Same time out of the gate. I don't know if they work together.
Yeah.
But if they did, this field's in trouble. They can duplicate the run last night. But Permaja and Milan Milosevic, the last 6 months or so with Firsters.
He's been cranking it up.
1 for 7, but 5 for 7 in the money with a positive ROI. Had the horse Stormy B or whatever. No, Sugar Bee. And went back up to New York and got it done.
Exactly. And if you go further back, so that was 5 out of 7, right? You go back to the 11 first time starters. 2 wins, 2 seconds, 2 thirds. So just a pretty, and that's kind of what I noticed. That's kind of why I said, hey, let's give this one a shot. Milan's been doing a great job cranking it up for these first time starters.
I like that. Late breaking Lasix and Sky Maze will get you a firster. 7563571 for Callie in the opener.
Good way to kick off that early pick 5. Of course, these pools are very attractive here for the Mid-Atlantic region. Let's go ahead into the early pick 4. Keith, you've got something, a snack for us a little bit later, but this does open up the early pick 4. First leg claiming 7,500 for the girls. 3 end up going 2 turns around our dirt track, scratching the Formatula. You go with the number 5, Marley's Ghost. I had this one on and off of my ticket with the weight off, coming down here in a little bit of class.
Yeah, a little bit of a drop. And aggressive move from Corral. He's been okay. He's been also very good with favorites. Horses, odds on this horse certainly could creep below even money. 7 for 11 the last couple years on the dirt with these type of horses. Just a little flat into that slower flow, made that move just to fizzle the last 3/16 of a mile at the flat mile. Going out to 2 turns, has the ability to get it done, has won at this distance before. I think Marley's Ghost, you're looking at the way this race is going to set up. I think Golden Heart's going to go ahead and go from the inside. Some of that speed Matula was going to chase. So it should get fairly good position to be able to kind of progress in and get it. A long shot user, Congress Hall, 69 starts for this mare. Has never worn blinkers. The blinkers finally go on. Maybe this is a wake-up call. Congress Hall has run okay turf to dirt in the past. She's got that steady, grinding style. I think it might work here. Pick her head up with the blinkers. Looking at that kind of number, she's going to be a value user for me today.
Absolutely. 5-2-8-3 with looking for water underneath as well as the 8 always forward here with the other weight off here for the same barn. Yeah, nice little skip around here for this first opener.
It's not easy.
No,
this
it's
second
not.
race. Marley's Ghost, if she doesn't fire, anybody's ball game.
Exactly.
It could be the higher price Corrales on the outside with always work, because I do think that horse, when breaking it down, she can get a forward position, and she's a stayer at this distance against this level.
There we go. Let's go on to race number 3 in this maiden claiming 12.5, going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt for the girls, 3-5. No scratches here. Keith, you go with the number 9 on the outside. Redhead Italian here, Brittany Russell, Javian Toledo, returning back to the dirt here.
Another race I struggled with a little bit. It's just the Brittany factor. You're dropping again. This is a plummet. This is going to be first-time blinkers, first-time Lasix on the main track. Plenty of speed. There's a little other flow in here. Maybe a dropping Lemons can go. Granite Wells, interesting, has shown some positional speed on the turf course. Has some dirt. Is a full-to-full prestige, a Brittany Russell horse that ran okay on the main track in debut. I'm going to use Red Hat Italian. I think Bondsbell is that kind of chaser, stays around. A little bit of a touch of a hang the last couple. Dropping Lemons, yes, in Granawell. We talked about this one. This is an interesting move, too. Dropping down. Has never tried the dirt. Could be a wake-up call. This is a struggle race for me. I just kind of default in these stats with her. Maybe just eat the shorter price. Sipping Time, if you're looking for like that bomb horse to just take a shot on in here, that might be the one. Because looking at kind of the flow, I think it's going to be a little bit contentious up front. Turning back from the mile, just enough, had a lot of shots, but it's 6 for 15 in the money. Might help you out there in your exactest tries in Super.
9-7-2-8, add maybe the 10 there in race at number 3 for Keith Fustel. Race number 4, we get to a claiming 20,000. Also starts the Rainbow Pick 6. We, of course, have that nice little carryover that we have of $9,000. I've got a $36 ticket for you. Fun little sequence, a bit of a yo-yo back and forth. I give you 2 guts. I think that I'm going to be honest, the single in the 2 on race number 6, I think that's a pretty gutsy single. I think you, especially for a jackpot super high 5 race, I think you can at least go 2 or 3 deep in there. But I'll bring it up a little bit later, but a little bit of faith there in the choice for Phil Capuano. And then in race number 8, my other single in Red Hat, Hannah will have a video spotlight on this one a little bit later. Love how you go a different direction in your top selection, though. But if we get a cow lunch, as expected, should be running well. $36. Race 5 was the real, as you mentioned, Keith, it's not really a big cut and dry day here today. A couple of these races I just have a lot of questions about. I'm not saying I'm not super solid, but it's you just never know what's going to be happening in a couple of these races, and today's that kind of day. So a $36 ticket here starts in race number 4, as I mentioned, claiming 20,000, which have for the 2-year-olds here going at a mile and 16th on the dirt.
Yeah.
You have the number 3 on top. Let's go ahead and take a look at Calidoro. In that first win there, Eric Fuentes now gets the call from J.D. Acosta.
Yeah, this is the race we actually showed it the other day, right, with Fear Nothing. And you know what? It worked. It was a winning video spotlight. We like to have these sometimes. They're pretty good. Steve out there in the TV, he takes close a look at these, and he's formulated some stats. He said we're like 50-60%.
Oh
so
my gosh,
we're
I
good
love
with
that.
the video. We're good with the video stats.
I love that.
Fear Nothing inside into that float, comes back to win by 11. Calidoro was the beneficiary. 4 wide, you look kind of the build of this horse, maybe wants to go ahead and get a little extra distance. What I liked, again, was the last 70 yards. This guy just puts it all together. It was a little bit of a grind, and man, let's pull away. Urban Symphony came out of this race to win.
Yep.
So we're talking key race. Just bit off a little bit too much last time out, and that first level allowance was hung out wide into an incredibly fast pace. So stretching out here, I think, should be right there for Jose Corrales. I can see this one, settling back a little bit off the pace. Not too far. Not my first rodeo. The 4 could probably go. Scott 22, your top selection is interesting. Stretching out here, a good kind of a steady progression mid-race. Little flattened, but a churn on at Delaware. Gets his first try here at Laurel, draws inside. Is Fool to My Last Mission, who's been kind of hot lately and going around of a ground. So that's proven there. The family's there for Scott 22.
Yep. Let's touch on work for peace really quickly. Phil Capuano, Matilda Burnham. Phil Capuano got a good that we mentioned that good first-time starter the other day, but stretching it out here could work really well for this one today.
Yeah, decent wake-up.
Yeah.
From the Beyer standpoint, from 5.5 in debut up to 6. It was caught wide in a big field. I like these younger horses. They can show the ability to beat a bunch of other horses in a race.
Right.
That's what this one did. Again, we'll get inside position. I don't think has quite the speed of a couple of these, but looking at the breeding, it's even bottom side broken valve, should be able to progress into it. 3-1-2-4, shorter price here again, though, with Corrales from Ness.
Race number 5 is the late pick 5, starts the late pick 5. Of course, as I mentioned, that low industry takeout and those nice pools that we do have, and this is another claiming 20,000 for the 3-year-olds, though, and up, which have never won 3, going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt. Scratches in the 2, the 8, and the 11, Mr. Houghton, Little Skippy, Dance for Green. You and I both land on Paco the Taco Man for Annette Eubanks and Angel Cruz. Let's roll back to that Maryland Million Day where this one ran in that starter handicap.
Big effort. And again, this is a condition claimer, 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 3, or the 3-year-olds. Paco is a 3-year-old and has won 3 races. I always like this as a stronger angle for me. Take the horses that have won 3-4 races, the 3-year-olds. Big effort into a quick flow. Clubman Rad Paisley comes back, right, to win. Gets a short leap, almost like puts a head in front, mid-stretch. Just can't quite hold off Clubman, who brought a really good wide surge in this race to get it done. Which almost drifts it out to kind of get his attention, maybe. Meets that other rival and doesn't give up.
That's an angel move right
there.
Yeah,
doesn't give up at all. Paco the Taco Man off of a top. I've got a couple horses in here off of top numbers. Beyer figures their last out. I hope there isn't a little letdown.
Okay.
It's tricky a little bit at this level. But Paco the Taco Man, with that bigger field, back in the big field again, we'll try to get that position in the turn, avoid trouble, and try to chase down maybe one-way traffic. I think is the speed of the speed. Might survive the battle. I don't know if this one's going to quite win the war. Very sharp, was able to dictate through quick internals last time, bringing it right back. There's going to be a lot of pursuers. I think this pace is going to be honest. He's going to have to be on his game if he's going to last. That's the 10 one-way traffic for Caitlin Kill. Another one off of a top. Midnight Renegade.
Talk to me about
a little
this
bit
one.
of a question mark
Yep.
again. A drop down off the break. Run against the right kind. Be very good time to be Irish. That's the video we saw the other day. Arden's lucky to be in there with Freeze to Fire. Great. I don't know. I mean, Barn trying to pick it up, and maybe the times are it's like, okay, we've got to attack sooner or later here to get somebody over the top. Now, last 3 years on the dirt, Lacey, 8 for 24 allowance to claimers. It's a good clip, 333, but off of this layoff is a concern, no doubt.
Sure.
But we'll get flow. Midnight Renegade, maybe he's an all or nothing type, but I'm going to toss him in the mix along with Order the Kettle. Had some issues last time out and kept grinding. We'll like what's going on up front, turning back from 7 10-6 today. This is a good race. This is a spread race for me. I think you did as well.
I went
right?
5 wide in this field, because I took off Midnight Renegade to put in the 13 that drew in. There was Shape Note for Deal Devico scratched yesterday to run in this spot today. So I had to pay attention to a little bit of that. The barn, because the Deal Devico barn, they're on an upward momentum right now. You've got to pay attention to these kind of things. But like that, you have Midnight Renegade amongst your picks.
Mr. Agent has bounced back from poor efforts in the past. He's a 5-time winner. Yeah, the one thing I know with a clean break, I think one-way traffic does take him to at least the 3/16 pole. After that, I don't know. Got no clue.
5 wide for me in my Rainbow Pick 6 ticket. We will be right back after this commercial break to discuss the rest of Sunday's card. And welcome back. Of course, we are at race number 6. You know what that means? That means it's jackpot super high 5-time, of course. And of course, it also starts the late pick 4. Keith, what do you have for us?
Yeah, came up for a little late pick 4 action today. Yeah, looked at it was race 5 that just kind of threw me for a loop. And I'm like, if I do the early pick 4, it's just going to be too much of a ticket. And then we're going to go $18 here. Race 6, 3 deep, 1, 2, and the 6 glamorous for Rob. Race 7. 3 horses as well. Hornbeam, Walkaway Joe sitting there at a good value of 12-1 morning line. He's a trier in the dance. Race 8, 3-7. Red Hat Hannah. Yeah, she's the horse to beat off of that last race, but we'll talk a little bit about that one. I like Stop the Cap as well. Race 9, Wrap It Up. What's your big idea horse I really like today in the 4 Concrete Face for an $18 late pick 4 ticket?
And it does begin here in this maiden claiming 12.5, going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt for the girls at 3, 4, and 5. Thank you very much for that late pick 4 ticket, Keith. Scratching the 3, Rascallion. You and I both go with the number 2, X-Gene. I didn't expect you to come with this one as a top selection here. Phil Capuano, Julio Hernandez, blinkers off here today.
We got Julio, the blinkers coming off, and something we missed last night with a little stumble out of the gate, which definitely hurt this one's chances. Break from the far outside, was hung wide when trying to make the advance. A little bit of a fade. A little switch up here with the blinkers off. Positional speed with a good break with Julio. Yes, I think forward enough. This she ran very well. You go back to that Timonium race, and things kind of regressed a little bit. But second time back here in a row on the main track and sprinting. I think this is good. This is going to suit her very, very well.
Talking about the number 1 on the inside, talk to me about Aunt Margaret with the weight off. Day of the weight off for the barn, but cutting back in distance might be a little bit of a help here.
Could be, and that wasn't a bad race off that real long layoff. I mean, she came back in October. Look at the comment, 3 to 5 wide, mild run between. Was kind of protected a little bit early, rated, brought that steady progression. Tried the mile, not good enough. Was well in hand. Just flat. We're going to get Fuentes now today, so we'll see, and we'll see if this one kind of get positioned. I think she's got a little bit more speed than what she's shown, so hopefully she can get close by the time they turn for home intel agents. A horse that can close. Glamorous, interesting here. Turf to dirt angle for Rob usually works. Not a ton of true speed in here. I expect an aggressive ride to get out there and try to force this issue early and stay the trip. There's just not a whole lot you can trust to make that big sustained run from off the pace. I just think X-Gene is just about ready to come back to not maybe that Timonium race, but given a good break, I think she can kind of get up here through the final 1/8 of a mile.
Agreed there. 2-1-6-5 for Keith Fusel there. In race number 6, race number 7 is back. Going 2 turns here today. And the starter optional 20,000 here for the 3-year-olds and up. No scratches here. Keith, you go with the number 4, and then you go with the number 6. And you know what? We have a video of both of these, Hornbeam and In the Dance, from that effort last time out on the 27th.
Yeah, both of them ran well. Hornbeam just a little bit slow to get started, and it gets caught 4 wide into the first turn and then continues wide. In the Dance, I thought all in all, had a pretty comfortable trip, stalking that flow. Wasn't super demanding. But still, 3 wide, a long way. And I think today, when you're breaking it down, Sagrada Rey looks like the speed to go ahead and go. Here's In the Dance, makes that attack move, leaving the 5/16 to the quarter. Is going to shake clear past mid-stretch. Hornbeam, no let up. Wide every step of the way. Now going to go second time off the claim. I think these two just kind of maintain form. They both can be right there. And Hornbeam with a little bit more of a ground-saving trip. There's a little jump of the tracks late. Good pick up In the Dance. Digs in. In the Dance really, really doing well, Rob. 3 now, you're talking about these numbers going up, up, and up. Last 3 years with that kind of notion, the 3, whatever, climbing figure. However we're going to 8 for 34.
There it
24%, 17 to 34 in the money, 276. That works for me. I think In the Dance gets that good stalking trip again. One of these two, they will be my keys. Walk Away Joe, again, checked off of that slower pace, just a little flat. I'll go back with Julio Hernandez now riding for Phil Capuano. Could shake things up a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. 4-6-5-2 there in race number 7 for Keith Fusel. As we go to the feature of the day in this allowance, restricted allowance here, going a mile on the dirt for the 3-year-old girls and up. Scratch in the 2 Midsummer's Eve. You go with the number 7. Stop the Cap. You mentioned this earlier when discussing your ticket. Hammy Smith, Victor Carrasco can completely understand why.
Yeah, likes the distance, right? 3 for 4. And what I liked last time, finished up well, opening quarter 25, 48, and 3. This was second off the break, and grounded out, was able to get the better of Our Liberty Bell, a horse that was recently off the claim off of Ness, holding very, very good form. Now goes here to the allowance ranks. I like this move for Hammy. This horse is in very, very good form, and I think she's going to get even a little bit more pace to run at. Now, let's go to the video spotlight. Red Hat Hannah, I do think she's the horse to beat. It was visually extremely strong, and she played cat and mouse with this field. And it was an okay field last time out. Got away with 24-4, though, the first quarter. With Jess's Gypsy Girl to the outside today with X-Man, will she have it as easy? I don't know, but she's talented this way. She got a little off of her game 2 races back when caught in a little pickle into the turn. But she relaxed here, and she brought a finish. And the jog, it's just kind of like intermittent urging through the final 3/16 of a mile there with Crispin. Yeah, keep her going.
Just to keep her on task.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I believe even if she gets a target, she's showing me I think she can go ahead and track if need be.
Yeah.
Really, really good professional performance here last time out for Sal Sinatra and Cal Lynch.
No, she was sick of the jockey just kind of getting after, just keeping honored on task, but completely understand it. And as you mentioned, the 1 too many kisses you have to include after these performances coming from off the layoff for Keith and Boyce, of course, and the number 6 in Suncross, second-time starter Brittany Russell Javian Toledo.
Yeah, has to improve. I know it's a knockout victory, wins by 11. Time a little sluggish, a pedestrian compared to a couple of these, but no reason why this horse can't just move up a little bit more. Second time out, so it won't be out of my exact. There's too many kisses. I think maybe bounced just a touch, but that was a fast race. They went a minute and 36 and change last time out, going the mile. Overwish. Don't Tell Kelly came back. She's gotten through the state-bred, state-sired allowance. I think third time back off a little bit of a break for us, boy. She may not be as close early, and she'll make that move around the turn. I like her here at this 1-turn mile.
7-3-1-6 there for Keith in the feature. Let's go ahead to our finale in this claiming 30,000, going 5.5 on the dirt for the girls 3 and up. Scratching the 7 Little Temptation. You go with the inside horse. What's your big idea? Kieran McGee, Javian Toledo, Keith Fusel. Special stat for us, ladies and gentlemen.
For the day, right? We're going to go second off of a break. Kieran McGee, the last 3 years, 6 for 15, 40%, 9 for 15 in the money. Dirt sprint, second off a 60 to 180 day break. 321 ROI. Turf to dirt has been very good move for this barn year in and year out. I like the fact that Toledo stays. She's shown the ability to make a move from just off the pace in her races against maybe a little bit better. You see her run a big race behind Too Many Kisses. Condition claimer here. Lottie Dino, the other Kieran, I believe, goes. Maybe debt relief will press. What's your big idea? If she escapes any kind of hiccups out of the gate into the turn, I think she'll be tracking and looming by mid-turn.
And, of course, you go with the with Concrete Phase underneath Derek Param. And then the other Kieran McGee, as you mentioned, Lottie Deno there, Carol Cedeno.
Yeah, I think she's the speed. The other Kieran definitely. Wouldn't surprise me. Got a little bit of a shuffle last time out, but should be able to might be able to clear off against this group, which can make her really dangerous. But Concrete Phase coming back to the main track, I think works. She's a little bit of a slower breaker. Is 5.5. just a little too short. We're going to find out. Big effort, though, Maryland Million Day for her.
Let's discuss your picks in detail, Keith. Thank you so much for your paddock and for your race analysis there. Let's touch a little bit more lightning round, guys, in the value play in race number 2 at 20-1, Congress Hall. Brandon McFarland, Angela Cruz, blinkers on.
Yeah, maybe you can trust Marley's Ghost at the favorite. Man, she's going to be an awfully short price. So if we got to enhance things a little bit, inside, like that at a mile and 16, 69 tries. We're going to 70th race of the career of Congress Hall. Finally, the blinkers go on. I know Brandon's just probably trying to shake things up a little bit.
Sure.
She can get the distance and she's run okay. Turf to dirt in the past. Why not take a shot?
Right, absolutely. And just we're just going to turn back really quick to that best bet, of course, for McGee on the inside with What's Your Big Idea, Toledo. And there's that nice little stat there again for you guys.
Reinforcing it. 40%. Okay, second off a 60 to 180-day break with these sprinters. I like that 321 ROI. And Toledo staying around. Off of that, maybe that conditioning race on the turf. I was a little interested. Why the turf? Okay, back to the dirt today. She'll be ready to rock and roll.
Well, also wanted to talk about some more action as we kind of wind things down for the card. Things are going to be heating up over at Rosecroft. Of course, the Big Potomac Pace is on at 3 p.m., so keep an eye out for that. Keith, we also have Rosecroft also has a nice carryover going in for Sunday, 15 grand. Going to be climbing up there for race number 10.
Absolutely, and our prayers go out to Pete Medhurst, the voice of Rosecroft Racing, dealing with some cancer. I read an article I was informed about a week or two ago about everything, so definitely pulling for Pete. He's been the voice of Navy football for a while. He's actually, I believe, filled in for Rodman on the go-go back, but a great guy and, dealing with a tough hand right now. Let's hope he gets through everything okay.
Yeah, I'm sure. All thoughts out to the team over there at Rosecroft as they come on to their big day here, and we will go to the voice of Maryland here, Dave Rodman, for some more changes and scratches.
All right, good luck.